Hey everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to show you my 2021 planner and journal and sketchbook setup. It's gonna be a pretty comprehensive video, so grab a coffee, but let's get started. So to start, I actually created this little Techo Kaigi infograph for myself. Techo Kaigi is just the Japanese practice of planning your planning and journal setup. So it's like planning about your planners and journals, which is really meta. But I wanted to do this before I actually started setting things up because I wanted to have a rough guideline of what I'm going to use for 2021, because it's a lot of notebooks and journals that I wanted to use, and I really wanted to streamline but also try new things. I didn't want to be tied to one book, but I didn't want to have like 52 journals and planners to use. So I did end up choosing, I guess, 5 main planners and journals, 1 sketchbook, and then 2 supplemental notebooks that kind of help with my planning and journal and sketching setup. But basically, we'll start off with my personal planning and journaling, and then we'll move into my work planning, and then we'll talk about the sketchbooks, and then I'll mention the supplementary notebooks throughout the video because they are used either for work and for personal. So I'll make sure to include an infographic or like a little pop-up on the screen so you know which notebook I'm using and if it's a main notebook or a supplementary notebook. But let's get started. So this right here is my main personal planning and journaling setup. So we'll start off with planning. So for planning, I'm using, this is going to be my first time using it. It's the Hobonichi Techo Cousin avec. No, I messed that up. It's the Hobonichi Cousin avec. The Techo is the A6 size. The Cousin is the A5 size. And I have this lovely Baum-kuchen cover. This is, I believe, the Azuki colorway. Very nice, muted, but also bold. I think it matches my mood and my vibe, so I'm really excited to use this. And I'm using the avec. I am going to be using this for like personal planning and with a little bit of journaling. So it's like, as you can see on my little infographic, it's going to be my daily planner for my personal stuff and Job's journal. So anything related to Job's journal, the shop, Job's journal, this YouTube channel, Job's journal, the IG account, this anything under that umbrella is going to go in here. So it's like a multi-use planner. So I specifically said that there's no pressure to decorate, and I want to work on using the daily pages for my daily tasks. So I have started using this at the last week of December. As you can see here, I have my month view. I'm going to be using this just exactly like this is. It's going to be pretty simple. I might decorate it, but like I said earlier, there's no pressure to decorate. Red means YouTube, blue means IG, and like black just means general tasks and events. And I also am going to try and use some brush lettering. This is the Tombow Fudinowski brush pen in the black, and it doesn't bleed through. There is some ghosting, but I don't mind that. And I think I'm going to be using some functional planner stickers moving forward, but I still need to solidify what colors I want to use for planning because I want to color code this because I get really confused when I looked at my old planners because everything was just in black, which made it look really cool and streamlined, but sometimes I just need to color code things. It's just the type A person in me. So we have the month view. We have all the months of the year here at your disposal. And then for the week view, I'm using the Cookie Monster pencil board. This is from my Hobonichi order. The Cookie Monster cover is taking a rest right now. We will revisit Cookie Monster in the future. As you can see, it's pretty much similar to my month view. I intend on planning most of my stuff in the month view and then porting things on a week by week basis here. So I'm probably going to use the little space up top for like any major events. For now, I just have YouTube videos going up there, and then I plan on using the time blocks for when I'm going to be posting those things. Right now it looks like it's a social media planner, but it's just because we don't have really any events or things going on right now because I don't have school, or I'm also trying my best to socially distance right now. So the only thing, I actually have to erase that because I didn't end up doing that, but I would put like tasks or events in their time slot, and then I just put my colors that I'm going to be using here. Right here it says shop is going to be in black, but I need to change that, and then I'm going to try and use a little star that I like to draw on everything to signify the events. And I think I'm just going to, be pretty loose with this setup. I don't want it to be too intense. I know a lot of people like customize and change things. For this spread, I know a lot of people do a lot of creative things. Sometimes people use this as like a tracker. Some people use it as an index. I still haven't really made up my mind, but I'm not pressuring myself to do anything with it because the main point of this is a planner, and I don't want to spend all my creative energy on this. So that's the main point. And then I have the daily pages. I'm using a old bookmark. This is actually from when from My Life Mitts had a handmade shop on Etsy. I still think this is one of the coolest bookmarks ever. It's in like a natural leather cord, and it has these knots, and I really like it. That's the one thing that I dislike about this cover is that there are no built-in bookmarks, but I guess that's all right because not everyone needs bookmarks. But with the Hobonichi cousin, you have a week view, a month view, and a daily view. So right now I'm using the first bookmark, the one from Mitts, for the month view, and then the week view I was using this Cookie Monster pencil board, and then I have the other part of the bookmark for Mitts for the day view. But I also am going to keep this little Midori brand tag here to keep this ready to flip for me, and it's weighted so it's easier to open. And then, or I could also do this and keep Cookie Monster as my placeholder and remove that. I still haven't toyed around with it. The reason why I have nothing on here is because I obviously can't start using my daily pages yet, but let me show you what I've been doing in the meantime, and then you can kind of like imagine what I would use the daily pages for. So this was my planner for 2020. This is a bullet journal, and I love the bullet journaling system, but I just needed some more structure because I found that there were weeks and even months that I didn't use it. Maybe it's just because of the pandemic and the nature of how 2020 went, but I just thought I would need something with more structure because I found myself using like my day-to-day tasks, or like the way I use my bullet journal, I use it more on like a daily basis, and then the week and month views weren't really used, especially if I didn't set it up. It wasn't really used, so I think for this year, the Hobonichi is going to be a little bit better for me, but I still wanted to use this kind of setup. So basically, I would use this system of bullet journaling in my Hobonichi. I'm just going to disregard the times because that's not relevant to me, or that's not how I want to use it. But I'm basically going to do this same bullet journaling system here, write all my tasks. I really need to break down tasks into smaller tasks. So this is why my to-do lists look huge, but obviously they're not as intense when you actually read them. So just imagine this here, and then the bottom part, obviously there's no pressure to journal or whatnot, but if I did want to add some like fun decorative elements or stickers, that will be the place that I will do it. And then I think for resolutions, I wanted to add the resolutions in the first few pages somewhere here. I'm just going to print it out and glue it here. And then for the Hobonichi, the only other thing that I want to use is the back few pages. I think it's this page. I kind of want to write my ideal morning and evening routine here, and then use this to write my favorite. I think it's going to be music here, my favorite song of the month, and just put it here. But yeah, this is more productive, and right now it looks like it's just a social media planner, but I think once I have other personal tasks and events happening again, I'm going to be using that. Hopefully, fingers crossed that 2021 is a little bit better for us in terms of the pandemic. And then that brings us to this. This is the supplementary notebook that I was talking about. I still want to use this bullet journal. I actually didn't complete it this year. That's all right. I want to use it in 2021, and I'm mainly going to use it for a lot of lists and like important notes that I have taken down that I want to reference, and I still want to do that. I also want to make creative bullet journal spreads because I still enjoy doing that. It's just sometimes I don't end up like making any. So this is something that maybe if there's 1 week that I wanted to do all my daily tasks here, I will have the flexibility to do them here. I've already like made peace with that because I jump around in a lot of planners usually, and I don't have a problem having a few blank pages in here or a few blank pages in here. And I think that's why I enjoyed bullet journaling, because as you can see, the full calendar week is actually not here. Like I start on I did start on a Monday. So I started on Monday here, Tuesday, and then it jumps to the next Sunday. So like I use my bullet journal like here and there when I have a lot of tasks that I need to actually like write down. So that's how I intend on using this. It's just going to be a place for me to reference important notes. Like I don't really want to show this, but I have like my Canada Post rates here, and then there's a whole bunch of lists that I keep in here. Like I have my ideas, supplies to try. I still want to use this for stuff like that, and I also want to make more creative bullet journaling spreads, like I said earlier. Like you can see here, I barely filled this out. But I also want to do like expense tracking and like other stuff here. But maybe I'll save that for another video because I haven't really made any explicit 2021 spreads except for my resolutions, which I plan on just photocopying and printing out on vellum to add to my other planners. But this is like my resolution / goals for 2021. This is another planner / journal. I'm going to be using this as a planner. This is the Thinking of You A5 planner from Mr. Eggplants. Mr. Eggplants is a Taiwanese creator, and this notebook is very aesthetically pleasing. It has a fairly different layout. There's usually a month view, so you have a front cover page, the month view, and then your weeklies. But your weekly is actually a little bit different because you have the blank space up over here, and then you have your like week here. Usually it's the other way around where you have the week up here, and then you have like some like boxes here, or like for the Hobonichi there's usually like a quote here. But I like this because it's open, and I plan on just doing like very aesthetically pleasing journaling with a lot of stickers, and mostly like the MU transfer stickers and like other fun stationery bits. I don't really plan on doing like full-on collage spreads. Like I want to keep it simple, just like this. Right now I've been adding like a little highlight of the day or something interesting, and it's just going to be like a weekly recap. For the month view, I'm going to be using it hopefully as a gratitude journal. I still want to attempt that. I've never really completed a full month of gratitude, which sounds really bad, but I just always fall off of it because I usually consider or like check my main month planner, which is going to be here. And in 2021, my main month view calendar was in my traveler's notebook, but I use it for tasks and events and not really for gratitude. So I plan on just using this as my weekly recap and gratitude journal. And it's nice because it's like a small little box, and I don't I write huge, but I'm going to try and force myself to write smaller so I can just fit the gratitude here. And that's nice because it just makes you write a small little tidbit instead of like a huge long like paragraph that you're of something you're thankful for. I'm sure some people are really good at that, but I'm just really bad at like even maintaining a gratitude journal. So I'm going to try and do that here. It's very aesthetically pleasing, like I said earlier. And then after the month is done for your month view, you get like these fun like lettering calligraphy practice pages, which is nice. And maybe I will use these guides, or maybe I'll like do a fun collage here with like stickers and like torn paper and stuff, because I don't know, this looks really like aesthetically pleasing, and I think it would be a cool like background with like all of this calligraphy. But yeah, it's gonna be quite simple for this one. I just want it to be like a weekly recap, fun journal. I'm probably just gonna be filling this out honestly at the end of the week, not really throughout the week. I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen, but that's all right. And then I'm just gonna keep some transfer stickers here. This is actually the transfer stickers that came with this notebook. And then this notebook also came with a like frosted plastic cover, which is nice. And it's quite thin, has Tomoe river paper, great for fountain pens. Yeah, this is cool. And then the last thing for like my main journaling setup is actually my traveler's notebook. This is my ride or die. There's like one thing that I know I'm going to be using this year. It's going to be my traveler's notebook because I use this every year. It's actually quite weird because I usually used to do all my planning in this format, but I'm just realizing that A5 is the way to go for me because I just need more space because, like I said earlier, I write very large, but I'm working on it. So I have a leather cover or leather zipper pouch right here to start off this setup. This is actually my first traveler's notebook that I bought in 2015. It's the black. It's the OG Midori branding, which I love. It's aged very nicely. It's very smooth. I don't know. I always go back to this at the beginning of the year. And then I have the matching zipper pouch, like I said earlier. This is from Posh Projects in collaboration with the Time Store in Seoul. I don't think they sell this online anymore, but I'll link the Instagram pages in the description bar. This is a little dashboard that I made for the month view. I made this using clear plastic folders and a fuse tool, just some stickers that I might use for this month view. And then, yeah, I just keep a lot of like journaling supplies here. And I like that this is clear so I can put like very fun and cool, aesthetically pleasing things here. But yeah, I think that's the point of why I chose the clear, so I can add like fun things here. They might not be useful all the time, but right now I do have a few things that I want to use in my journal. And then this insert, actually, I think I'm going to use for my health tracking, just because I need to be healthier in 2021. This is actually going to be my daily carry. I'm going to keep this in my backpack or like my work bag. Even though I have like a million planners and journals, I just like to carry this with me just because, I don't know, there's something nostalgic about bringing a traveler's notebook everywhere. It's something that I used to do when I was living in Korea. And yeah, I just really like bringing this along. It's very weighty and very cool. I still have this Midori brand like magnetic clip thing, just to keep it easier to flip to the month. I don't have these tabs here, but I don't know, there's something about this weighted one that just makes it easier to flip open. This is the end of the tag, the end of the dashboard clear folder thing. Then this is my like daily journal. So this is where I usually do all my like memory keeping journaling, creative journaling. It's usually done in a regular size traveler's notebook. This is volume 21 of my daily journal. I call it daily journal, but I never really journal daily. I try to journal as much as I can, like on a day-by-day basis, but sometimes I'll miss like 2 weeks, and that's fine. But I am repurposing an old insert from 2018. This is the horizontal week plus memo. This is actually from 2019. I do this every year. I always buy a weekly insert for Traveler's Notebook regular size covers, but I never end up fully finishing them. I think I've only successfully filled these out I think for 2 years, I think in 2016 and 2017. And then ever since then, I've had a hard time filling this out just because I like putting all my energy into my daily journal insert. So right now this is acting as my daily journal insert and not a weekly insert. I just like repurposing old inserts just because I don't want to throw things out, and I might as well recycle these inserts, and my style lends itself to like using random papers anyways. Like you can see here, that's just scrap paper and like torn paper, so it makes sense to use this. And then I have my clear plastic folder. This is another DIY from when I made this little dashboard. This is just a folder that I made using the clear Travelers Company folder. It's just like a plastic folder sheet carrying thing that's the same size as the regular Traveler's notebook, but I wasn't using it much, so I just converted it and used the fuse tool to add these little folders, and this is where I'm keeping my pencil board, and as well as more things that I carry. I carry my eyeglasses prescription in here, and like a quote thing that my friend gave me back in like 2014 when I moved to Korea. These are just like fun memorabilia pieces. I always keep this here. This is from my friend Miggy. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that I like to keep here for like memories and like aesthetic purposes, just because I like how it looks. But there's things that I also want to use in here. So like these transfer stickers from Travelers Company, the stickers that came with the sticker sheet for Travelers Company 2021. I guess it's their sticker pack that I bought this year. And then I just have some random like character stickers here. And this is a vintage card that I like that I think came with my order from Skylar Hand. And then this is the back of my zipper pouch, which I rarely keep. I like to keep this flat. I used to stuff this to the brim when I was first into Traveler's Notebook, but I've been keeping it pretty slim. I just keep some stickers or washi samples, and yeah, it's just, yeah, I think that's all that's in there. Oh, I think I have stamps in here. No, I have a few like ticket stubs that I like to keep there to like flip through when I want to look at nostalgic things. And that is my ride or die daily journal, something that I would save in a fire, specifically this cover. I also have these two charms. This is the 10th anniversary Traveler's Notebook. I thought it was cool. I put this on as a joke, but now I love it. It's like the mini version of this. And I actually made an insert this time. I changed the elastic of this to a green one just because I thought it looked cooler, and it's like Slytherin vibes, even though I'm a Hufflepuff. But I couldn't find a yellow elastic. And then I just made a little insert using scrap paper in here. But I plan on putting like fun, positive messages in there. So when I'm feeling sad or like not in the mood to do something creative, I can just flip through my mini Traveler's Notebook so I can get inspired to use my larger Traveler's Notebook. And that concludes like my personal planning and journaling. Let's look at my work planners and, well, there's no work journal, but work planners. Okay, so these are my work planners. So we'll start with my main planner. This is the A6 size Take a Note planner. This is actually a very cool planner because there is a very unique layout. So we have the year at a glance, and then we go into the monthly pages, and then you have all the monthly pages together, just like the Hobonichi. This is printed on Tomoe River paper, and the binding is actually exposed, just like this. I think it's Coptic stitch, or I actually don't know what stitch it is, but the binding is exposed, which allows it to lie flat. It also comes with a clear like PET cover, which is nice. I have a cover that I'm going to use for it, but it's not here, but I'll show it in a different video. There's a month view, like I said, and then there's no week view, which I goofed. I think I wanted a week view for work, but I think that might have been on the A5 size. This is also from a Taiwanese creator, or actually I think it's created by or printed by the Taiwan National University Press. And it's lovely paper. It's Tomoe River paper. It's friendly for fountain pens. But you don't get a week on like a page here. You get 2 days per page, which is interesting. So the way I plan my stuff for work is I usually need a month view. And I actually, just to preface everything, I work as a teacher, so I use a lot of like digital planning as well. I use Apple calendars and Notion to keep all of my stuff organized, but I still like having an analog planner because it's just so much easier sometimes to flip through a notebook. And like everyone else, I love planners and journals, so this is why I have a paper planner as well. But I just plan on putting like significant events here, not like anything too detailed or like specific, I'm just going to keep like big events here, like early dismissals, Prody days, and holidays and stuff like that. But then the day-to-day view is actually what I'm excited for, because I like writing my tasks similar to how I would use it in my personal bullet journal. I like writing a whole bunch of to-do lists each day, and I was doing that in here, but I really can't show you much of what's in here, but I'll show you like an example spread right now on screen of what it looks like. Usually I have like 5 days, like the 5 days of the week there. I have the events, and then I have my day-to-day tasks. But I want to have my day-to-day tasks all here, and then I can just refer to it in here, so I don't have to use this. I'm just going to use this similar to my personal bullet journal. This is going to just be a place where lists live, as well as meeting notes, and I think this is going to be the planner or like bullet journal that I bring when I have meetings where I have to take notes, just because I have quite a few pages left. Actually, I don't have as many left. I think I have like a good quarter of this bullet journal left. So this is actually a Scribbles That Matter A5 size notebook. It's dot grid, just like the Archer and Olive one that I use for my personal bullet journal. And yeah, I plan on using this as a supplemental notebook to this. I do feel like this A5 size might be too small, and I am also kind of wondering if I should have bought the A5 size, just because I write really big, but I wanted something compact. So if I just needed my planner and I needed to go, I would bring this. And if I need like heavy duty, like I'm going to be writing a whole bunch of stuff, it's going to be in here. And this one I'm actually not going to bring home or put in my planner or in my backpack or work bag. I'm just going to keep this on my school desk, and it's going to live there as like a desk notebook. And this is the main thing that I'm going to be carrying around. This other notebook is also part of my work setup, even though it's kind of like a daily carry, similar to my Traveler's notebook regular size. I actually am not using this as a planner. This is actually just like a common place, like scratch pad notebook. So I have, again, the same black zipper pouch from Posh Projects in collaboration with the Time Store. And then I have a blank insert, and I'm just going to use this for, see, it looks like a random notebook, which it is, because I use this when I'm like working with kids and I want to like help them with math or something, or like if we're just going to play a little game, it's going to be on here. I just keep this actually in my butt pocket on my jeans or like trousers when I'm at work, because it fits. I mean, it's a little bit chunky, but you know, guys' pants are quite roomy. Sometimes I put this in my front pocket too. It really depends. Or in my jacket pocket. It's just nice to keep in there, and I think I'm going to streamline it even more. I actually have my blank insert here, and basically that's what it's all going to be used for. I used to do this, but just with a single field note size notebook without a cover, and I just keep it in my pocket, but there was no way to keep a pen there. So this is nice because I can attach a pen loop, and I have the world's tiniest pen. This is the Zebra Mini, and it's just a small pen that gets a little bit larger when you pull on it, and that's how it exposes the pen tip, which I really like. It's very small. I think the pen loop is actually a little too big for this, so I might get a smaller pen loop, but I like this because it keeps the weight down too. And yeah, like I just use this for a lot of like small tasks, like there's math here, and when I'm like supporting kids in class, this is what I would use. I have a clear plastic folder that I DIY'd again with some clear plastic sleeves, and then the Travelers Company plastic clear cover or clear folder. And then I have my pencil board here if I need a more stable writing surface like that. And then this is actually an old insert from 2018. It's a weekly insert. Like I said earlier, I never really used this, and I actually stopped purchasing this year. just because I didn't really have a use for it. So I might take this out actually. This is just in here just in case I fill this up, but I would intend on using this as a scratch piece of paper or scrap piece of paper. But yeah, I also keep some, like, what do I have in here? Oh, I keep a USB in there just in case I need it. And then usually I have a spare eraser in here too, or a pencil. But yeah, this is like my pocket notebook. Obviously, it's not very pocketable for some people, but I think once I remove this, it's a little bit more compact. And this is the 5th anniversary star edition of the Traveler's Notebook. This was actually like a little grail of mine, so I'm happy to add it to my collection. And I really like the camel cover. And that sums up my work planning setup. The last item on my Techo Kaigi / planner and journal setup is my sketchbook. This has been something that I guess is fairly new because I used to use this as like a planner or journal. I don't really know, but right now it's pretty much my sketchbook, or like I call it the ugly sketchbook because I call it that because it's not to say that everything is ugly in there, but it's just gives me the freedom and like relieves the pressure of creating like good looking things or good looking drawings or doodles. So this is actually an old 2019 MD paper month calendar. So there's like a month view like this, and then it goes into like this lined I guess like you can use this for like a weekly setup or like a weekly tracker or journal or planner, but I tried to do that at some point and I use it for many different things, and I guess that's why it's called like it's an ugly sketchbook. Like here I tried to use it as a weekly memory keeping planner in 2019, and then it goes into like faux bullet journaling, then it goes into like I don't know, art journaling, and then goes back into bullet journaling. There's like sketches. I don't know. I also drafted like a lot of like stuff for Etsy. So I was just using this for a lot of random stuff, and I thought I would just consolidate it and just make it like an ugly sketchbook, or it could just be anything that it needs to be. So I use it for my Inktober, Peachtober sketches. I have watercolor practice in here. I have like scripts / notes that I needed to reference for YouTube videos. So it's been a lot of things. Right, this is the most current spread that I'm working on, and I really like it just because I think this has made me realize that I really do think I should have like a dedicated sketchbook, because it's just nice to have like a little place where you can just doodle and draw and use paints and stuff. So yeah, I think that came about during my Peachtober, Inktober experience, because I was having fun drafting my ideas here. But now we have like kind of more, not finished works, but like I like having a place where I can do stuff like this, but also stuff like that. So once I finish this, I'm pretty much almost done, just a few more pages left, and I've completed this insert. I'm going to be moving my Midori day per page. This is, I think they're calling this the Chronodex or something like that. No, I don't think they're calling it that. They're calling it something else, but it's just a day per page. It's kind of like, you can treat it like the Hobonichi. The paper, I mean, this might be a controversial stance, but I enjoy the MD paper more than the Tomoe River paper. I love using fountain pens, and I think I'm starting to appreciate my fountain pen collection a little bit more. I wasn't using them very much, but I do like how the Tomoe River paper takes the fountain pen ink. But I just love how soft but toothy this paper is. I love how it's cream. I don't know, I just love it. It's just so soft, and this is undated, so there's no dates. You could put your date here, which I kind of wish they didn't even have that, but you basically tear this little tab off once you've completed that page or that day, and by the end of the year you can easily flip to where you are. You don't need a little bookmark, because you can just see all these pages have been torn out, and you just flip straight to that page. But I don't know if I'm going to do that, but this is just going to be my sketchbook, and obviously there's no pressure to finish it within 2021, because look at this thing. I'll probably have this for like 5 years or so at the rate that I'm using this. But I bought this on a whim and I kind of regretted it, but I also know that I will use it for a very long time, and the paper is just lovely. I just love holding it. Part of me doesn't even want to put a cover on it, but I do have a cover coming for it. But it's just so lovely, and I love how big and weighty it is, and I love the A5 size, like I said earlier. And I think that concludes the last journal on my planner and journal setup. Again, I'll flash the Techo Kaigi infographic / guide that I made in case you got a little confused with everything that I was showing you. But I am hopeful for this setup, and like any other year, I don't pressure myself to journal or plan every single day. I think I will be a little bit more diligent about my planning this year, just because I kind of fell off of that when I was using my bullet journal in 2020. But in terms of journaling, I don't pressure myself to stay in one notebook or use a different format. I'm sure this setup will change, so obviously in like 6 months, maybe I'll revisit my setup and see if I need to change things or tweak things. But I hope you found this video useful. It's quite a long one. I tend to ramble, but I think I fully explained my rationale for all these notebooks. Obviously, you don't really need all of these planners and journals. If you have one thing that works for you, that's all you really need. But I'm in the mood for experimenting, and I will report back to tell you how I liked all of these different planners and journals that I will be using. Okay, have a great 2021, everyone. I hope all your dreams come true this year, and I hope you stay safe and continue to be healthy and be smart about everything, especially with everything going on in the world right now. Just be sure to socially distance still, and stay safe and stay healthy. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.